Yesterday, a scooper dropped several wild as heck reports about the Fantastic Four in the MCU. On top of that, there have been a ton of other reports that have happened since the last time that I talked about the Fantastic Four. So we're going to go over that too. First, we'll talk about the new information, and then we will talk about everything we think we know as far as plot for this movie. The Fantastic Four is obviously a very important franchise to Marvel Studios, and they are also characters that have never quite been given the justice they deserve in previous iterations. So if you're interested in what Kevin Feige has cooking up over there, you're gonna love this video as much as I loved making it. Smash a gosh dang like and let's get into it. Now, important to note, this stuff is mostly all coming from My Time to Shine Hello, who went on a crazy rapid fire Twitter frenzy spoiling all sorts of stuff for the Fantastic Four. Now, it is important to say, of course, that this is considered rumor until it gets confirmed by Marvel Studios, but My Time to Shine Hello, very reliable leaker. So first up, let's talk about the Silver Surfer and Galactus. Yes, the Silver Surfer is going to be in the movie, which is dope, but no Galactus.
What did he say?
Yeah, apparently Big G is just going to be hinted at in the film. And let's just go over the tweets as they happened yesterday. First, she says here, Silver Surfer is going to be in the Fantastic Four reboot. She then quote tweets that and says they're going to go to space. Cosmic Fantastic Four. She then quote tweets that and says Isa Gonzalez is the top choice for Sue Storm. And then she quote tweeted the Silver Surfer tweet and said, and yet no Galactus. Just a hint. She also goes on to say that Penn Badgley was never considered for Reed, which is pretty freaking wild. And we'll talk about all the casting stuff in just a minute. So the Fantastic Four movie will see them going into space, and there will be Silver Surfer, but no Galactus. Well, firstly, I'll just say I absolutely love the Silver Surfer, and I can't wait to see the Silver Surfer in the MCU. I think this character would be an awesome addition to a Fantastic Four movie, and there's a lot of history between this character and Reed Richards and Galactus and all of that. And we had heard that the Silver Surfer may well be getting a special presentation, much like what they did for the Guardians of the Galaxy with the holiday special, and like what they did with the Werewolf by Night special. And this Silver Surfer special was supposed to just be about him going around to different planets, getting them ready for Galactus to come destroy, and then maybe this special would lead into this character meeting up with the Fantastic Four. Either way, that sounds freaking great to me, but you know what doesn't sound great? No Galactus. What? I mean, this is kind of a bummer, man. Galactus is freaking awesome and definitely one of the worst parts of the Fox Fantastic Four iteration when they made him a big freaking fluffy cloud. Like, seriously, what was that? And you think about what Feige's done with the Celestials, with Arisham and the freaking Eternals, and you're like, damn, dude, I can't wait to see what Galactus might look like in the MCU. And we even got some new concept art for Thor Love and Thunder, which showed Thor standing in front of Galactus. So obviously Galactus is on the minds of many different people over at Marvel. And in addition to all of that, there's this really cool rumor going around that Galactus in the MCU is going to be using the planets that are seeded with Celestials to sustain himself. So he's going to be getting the power and energy of the different Celestials that get put into the planets that we found out from Eternals. And I just think that's freaking awesome. And so I'm 2 thumbs up on the Silver Surfer, but I'm 2 thumbs way down on no Galactus. I think that's a total bummer. However, I'll talk more about the plot and how I could see this all happening in just a bit here. I want to now focus on the casting. So My Time to Shine Hello does talk about Isa Gonzalez being the top person being looked at for Susan Storm for the Fantastic Four movie, and there's some mention of Diego Luna being one of the top choices for Reed Richards, although I couldn't find exactly where My Time to Shine actually talked about Diego Luna. Maybe this was something she had said in the past, but either way, this is presented as maybe the 2 frontrunners for the role, which is really interesting. She also shot down that Penn Badgley was considered. She said Penn Badgley was never even considered for Reed Richards, which is pretty interesting. A lot of folks were hoping that John Krasinski would still get the role, but he was recently talking about how there were no talks and he was probably just done and ended up being spaghetti, and you can never really take these actors like at their word, but he did seem pretty genuine when talking about it. And a lot of people think that, yeah, John Krasinski likely to not be the 616 version of Reed. Now, I still think he could be a version of Reed in Secret Wars or in some of the things they do in the future, but hold on to that thought for now. Insider Jeff Snyder was recently talking about Austin Butler's and his team trying to get him the role of Johnny Storm, Human Torch. Joseph Quinn, who of course played Eddie in Stranger Things, was also rumored to be looked at for a role in the Fantastic Four. I think the bottom line here is that Marvel is looking at all kinds of different folks and simply just trying to figure out who would actually be best in the role. It is absolutely possible that Diego Luna gets the gig. It is possible that he doesn't. I think Eiza Gonzalez could absolutely kill it as Susan Storm. But at this point, we've heard so many different things about the front runners for the Fantastic Four. I just don't want to jump to any kind of conclusions. And even after the cast is announced, I've got to wait and see what they have planned, what they're actually going to do with the film. It's a really common thing in the superhero genre fan base or just in the nerdy world to look at a casting and just treat it with a lot of skepticism. I mean, we did this with Heath Ledger when he became the Joker. We did this when Hugh Jackman became the Wolverine. I just think that when it comes to the Fantastic Four, we need to reserve judgment until we obviously find out who the actual cast is, and then we've got to see what the movie is actually like. How are these characters in the movie? I do think, though, that we're getting pretty close, and I think Marvel might make the final decision sooner rather than later, so I would expect within the next month or two for this information to leak out, or maybe just be confirmed by Marvel themselves. But now let's talk about the plot of the movie, and let's go through everything we know, and I am going to include a lot of the stuff that My Time to Shine is talking about, and things that other reliable insiders and scoopers have said. So first of all, Jeff Snyder said that Doctor Doom will not be the main villain of the Fantastic Four movie. Grace Randolph has said that she heard the Fantastic Four movie would be a period piece taking place in the 60s, and somehow the team would arrive in the present day, either at the end of the movie or perhaps in a post-credit scene to bring them in for the next Avengers films. According to all of this new information from My Time to Shine Hello, the team is going to space and the Silver Surfer will be in the movie. Kevin Feige said that it won't be an origin story, and he promised that they would be doing something new, something that you've never seen before with the Fantastic Four film. And so I've been speculating a lot about what could this mean? How do I put all of these different pieces together in my mind? And I was thinking about this rumor of Galactus and the Silver Surfer being involved, and the fact that maybe Galactus is going after planets that have a celestial egg inside them. And in the 60s, of course, Earth would still have the celestial inside of it. And so, you could see a scenario in which Silver Surfer comes to Earth, is ready to have Galactus come in there and chew on that planet, destroy it, and suck out all the celestial juices. The problem with that is it feels very similar to the Rise of the Silver Surfer that you had at Fox. And Feige said he wanted to do something new, something you've never seen before. So I just don't know if I could see them doing a movie where Silver Surfer comes to Earth, fights the Fantastic Four, then Reed Richards convinces him to take him to Galactus, or maybe he'll help the Silver Surfer find other planets that Galactus could ingest. I just think that's way too similar to what you saw before. Doesn't line up with the idea of doing something completely new. Personally, I'm still holding out hope for some of Jonathan Hickman's Fantastic Four run to be involved. There's this really cool Solve Everything, or the question of how to solve everything, from the Council of Reed's story. This was a brilliant story. I've talked about it many different times, but essentially you have Reed Richards inventing this portal in which he can see into other universes, and he discovers that there's this crazy interdimensional multiverse Council of Reed Richards that go around the multiverse trying to solve all of the major problems. This includes stopping different Galactuses. This includes defeating other villains, creating planets that farm to create resources and distributing them, and also a really really crazy dark side where they leave their family completely behind, go around and find Doctor Dooms and lobotomize them, putting them into the basement. It was an absolutely incredible story, and there is a tie to the production of this film and that run, because the LLC that was put together to shoot the Fantastic Four movie was called Solve Everything Productions. Another thing that I was kind of hoping to see in the Fantastic Four movie, and maybe we still will, are the children of Susan Storm and Reed Richards. This would be Valeria and Franklin. And these kids are awesome and very powerful in their own right, but I do wonder if they won't be in the movie just so that Feige can simply focus on the main family. However, I think having the kids would bring this really cool new element in, something that was definitely not in any of the Fox stuff and could be awesome to see out in space, especially because Franklin is insanely powerful, being an Omega level mutant, somebody that can literally warp reality. Think Wanda in the Multiverse of Madness. And on top of all of that, I'm still hoping for some multiversal stuff. I mean, this is a movie that comes out basically right before we get the Avengers Kang Dynasty and Avengers Secret Wars, and I just have a lot of trouble thinking of Secret Wars without Reed Richards and frankly without Doctor Doom as well. So I'm really hoping we get some friggin' multiverse stuff in this movie. And if we do, wouldn't it make sense to have Kang involved in the movie? I do wonder, with this movie taking place in the 1960s, if we could see a variant of Kang like the Silver Centurion, or maybe Victor Timely or somebody else that's maybe supporting the mission of Reed to go out into space. And this is just that really fun time where we know a few things here and there and we speculate to try to figure out what could make sense, how it could all fit together. If you have a cool theory, please let me know in the comment section. And of course, as we learn more, I will update you guys again. Smash a freaking like on this video if you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe to this channel and subscribe to the live streaming channel so you have a chance to win the dope nerdy stuff that we give away to subscribers each month. And if you want to watch more, why not check out this video I recently did about some leaks for the Star Wars Ahsoka show that are blowing my mind.